Hello, everybody. Good afternoon to you on this Thursday, July 17th, 2025. I got all your stories for your rush hour ride home, and we have the biggest viral story of the day. The CEO caught cheating on the kiss cam at a Coldplay concert. I'll share all the updates to that juicy, juicy story. And then we have Huta from Love Island going on the Call Her Daddy podcast, throws some shade at her former fling. And then more on toxic Blake Lively as we hear from experts as to her deposition, which was supposed to be today. It is delayed, and we'll get into their thoughts on that. And then more on the Epstein list as new files have come out due to the Freedom of Information Act requests that prove there are client lists and more information, hundreds of pages of documents in the FBI's possession. It's an absolute wild story. Elon Musk has his foot on the metaphorical gas as he continues to say, where's phase two? It is a story that is only picking up steam. Even Theo Von, MAGA podcaster, comedian, is grilling JD Vance to say, why are you no longer supporting the release of these files? It's a wild time to be alive. We got all these stories and more starts right now on The Rush. And our first story, Astronomer CEO Andy Byron caught having an affair on the big screen at Coldplay's concert on Tuesday. Whoopsie. Watch this clip.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Now, as we zoom in on this lady, she also works at the company, but the damsel in question here, and again, it takes two to tango, we know that, but the damsel in question here is the Chief People Officer, CPO. By the way, CPO, isn't that like a Star Wars character, 3CPO? Either way, the Chief People Officer, which is the head of HR, as far as I can tell, is the lady caught canoodling with this very svelte-looking CEO. Now, he, of course, is the CEO of Astronomer, which is a billion-dollar company, and he's, I guess, worth around $20 million. Well, divide that by two. Now, I don't know whether or not his wife is okay with his canoodling. Some might say this is just team-building activities. You know, he's checking her heart rate. Or, hey, maybe she was eating a hot dog and she choked on it and he's doing the Heimlich maneuver. We don't know. We don't know what might have happened there. Either way, wife knows. She has changed her name on Facebook. What a wild time to be alive. Isn't it a wild time to be alive? That what would have just, and by the way, if he didn't look guilty, if he just kind of sat there and took it, this probably doesn't become a thing, right? If he's just like, wait, it's on the Jumbotron, nobody's going to know, is that the CEO of Astronomer? Nobody cares, but it's that look that he has, oh boy, she got me. And I mean, it's not like he was up there, his pants were on, it's fully PG, but again, it definitely leads to more to the story, and we know that by her friend over here going, oh boy, and you know what, that's the look of someone who goes, I think I just got a job promotion because my boss is about to get fired. So either way, wild time to be alive. Justin Bieber in the news. He owes Scooter Braun $31 million, but in his contract, it now says he won't pay Scooter Braun until his wife's $1 billion deal goes through. She's got a makeup line. She just struck it rich. Now, I know a lot of people are going to go, oh boy, he's a failed in-debt pop star mooching off of his wife, but it's like, no offense. Till death do us part. Hailey Bieber wasn't worth much when she hitched her wagon to Justin Bieber, and that's how it works, folks. You live and die by your partner's success. So she strikes it rich with a $1 billion deal selling blush. Again, nothing to blush about, but either way, he says, you know what? Hey, honey, you got that $1 million deal? I'm going to need $31 billion deal, excuse me. So again, I'm fine with it. That's what relationships are about, The first 6 years of my relationship with my wife, she made more money than I do. And now I'm beholden to her Amazon shopping habits. It's just the way it works, folks. All right. So we have a new article about Justin Baldoni. It's called Blake Lively branded a toxic diva as experts dissect her latest catastrophic legal move against Justin Baldoni. So again, and they didn't interview an insider here, so this is all clickbait. But they interviewed Schiffer, a CEO of Reputation Management Consultants, which, by the way, Schiffer is going to need to talk to the Astronomer CEO. I mean, if you're a reputation consultant, my guess is you're going to be reaching out to somebody very soon to find some information out. You know what's, by the way, just to go backwards, you know what's interesting about this HR chief Kristen Cabot caught cuddling with her married boss? First of all, she was promoted to the job just 9 months earlier, but also they found on her LinkedIn, it says, wins the trust of CEOs. Well, let me just say, clearly her milkshake is bringing the CEOs to the yard. Okay, anyway, we're bouncing back and forth here. So Blake Lively's got this article. Reputation management consultant says dragging micro creators into court over chit chat is nuclear overkill that screams bully, not brilliance. When you demand IP addresses and PayPal receipts from hobby vloggers, I take offense to that, sir. You risk being seen mugging the First Amendment in broad daylight. Now, if you're a Blake Lively side, you say, well, I'm trying to prove a smear campaign. I don't care if they have 300 followers or 30 million. If they were part of a smear campaign, so be it. Only problem is she's got no evidence of that smear campaign. She's got no evidence that these bloggers, vloggers, TikTokers, you name it, had anything to do with receiving money. No, they're just following a juicy story. But there's that backlash. Now we go to not actually Golden, our favorite lawyer, who, by the way, also has our favorite closet. I don't know who she is. She keeps her identity quiet, but can we get a tour of that closet? She's got couches. She's got backlit shelving. It's looking pretty good. So as she's putting on her makeup, or putting, her, outfit together, maybe she's using Hailey Bieber's new makeup line. I don't know. She explains to us why this decision to delay the deposition is so interesting. And mind you, the conversation around Blake Lively wanting a 7-hour deposition. It might seem like a lot for people to say, 7 hours, that's a lot of time. When you factor in all of the different layers of evidence, it might take 10 minutes to explain every single thing. 7 hours might not be enough. They might need 3 full days of deposing her. Have a listen.
And then Gottlieb realized, this could be bad for Lively because she only wants to sit for the 7 hours. And as other people have said, and I totally agree, there is zero chance they're going to be able to take this woman's deposition in 7 hours. With all,
it's true. I was part of a deposition. I had a car sideswipe me and it put my Jeep onto 2 wheels. I spun out, I hit a thing, and I was trying to get my medical bills paid for. I had surveillance footage of this lady running a stop sign and hitting me fair and square. I still had to sit through a 3-hour deposition. They were asking me how much my dog weighs. Do I pick him up when I take him to the groomers? They were trying to find out. They were asking me any question they could think of to help their case. 3 hours for a simple getting sideswiped. This is a very complex story. 7 hours ain't going to cut it.
All the video clips alone, I just, from the set, I just don't see how that's going to happen. It's hard to do in like a regular case because there's breaks and there's lunch and there's conferring with your client and all that. I think that no matter what happens, the Wayfarer people are going to end up asking for more time.
But by the way, if I were to post in this case, which I'm not, but if I were to post, I would probably try to work a deal out with like a beverage company, like Celsius Energy. How great would it be to go viral in a deposition and you just drink your Celsius Energy, like stuck in a deposition for 24 hours? You're going to need some energy. Try the smooth taste of I don't know, just a thought. So again, we're open to brand deals out here.
But Gottlieb was very like, well, she's not going to sit for more than 7 hours. And look, Gottlieb is a plaintiff's attorney in this case, and all plaintiff's attorneys act that way. They act very like, I'm the righteous and my client is righteous, and how dare you come after my client who brought this lawsuit. Whether it's a PI case or an employment case or big commercial litigation, in my experience, most people who are representing plaintiffs act that way. I continue to think that this is more of a client-driven issue.
Yeah. client-driven issue. So that's Blake Lively putting her foot down. And again, yeah, if you're the lawyer, it's all sales, right? You take a hard stance and then you hope to negotiate after. So the proof will be in the pudding in the next couple weeks when we see how long they have to depose her. We've got Huta from Love Island talking mad trash on the Call Her Daddy podcast about the guy she was seeing on the show. Let's have a listen to this.
It seemed like Chris, it was like randomly just kind of like told everyone that you guys had sex without talking to you.
Girl, he didn't fully do anything. That's the other part.
Oh, really?
Girl, it was like halfway. It wasn't even all the, like we did not, like, that's the other thing.
You're like, it was like this.
Like,
I mean, and now hold on. To be fair, they're on camera. They're in these little day beds. I mean, what do you want from the guy? Pile driving? You know what I mean? Just to be fair, it was, testing the merchandise out. But she goes, yeah, I was watching TikToks. It was so unappealing.
Full shebang. Like, I'm just like, you're over here like, yeah, we had sex and we did this and I this girl, she's so fine. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Like, you barely put that in. Don't even.
Well, I mean, she's got a point. There is a difference between having sex as a clinical term and effing somebody. So it sounds like they did not F. They fornicated. I guess that's the only F word.
And it's not because I couldn't take it. That's
Whoa.
for sure.
By the way, this is a mother. Oh, God, you can tell I'm getting old and I'm going, your digital footprint. You got to worry about your digital footprint, Huta. Clean it up. I know this is fun to say on Call Her Daddy, but pretty soon you're going to have a kid going, Mom, did Daddy really put it in? Because I know. Okay.
Like, shut up. I feel like that irritated the out of me.
But did you two even have a conversation that you were like chill with him even saying that or was he just going around and saying that?
Girl, he knows how I feel about me, about people sharing business of mine.
I think we all do.
Yeah, I don't like it when people share business of mine. Now I'm going to say, about his shallow penetration on the largest female podcast in the world. Hey, do you, Huta? Do you? All right, coming up next, we have a big story involving the Epstein cover-up, the greatest conspiracy in our nation. Maybe in its history, to be quite honest. It's wild. We've got podcaster Theo Vaughn calling out Vice President J.D. Vance after their interview. We've got the exposing of actual documents that show that the Epstein list does exist. Hundreds of pages of documents being suppressed. All this is coming up next right here on The Rush.